When Clive Davis passed away, the world believed his story had finally come to an end. But hidden beneath the estate he left behind was a mystery no one could have imagined. For decades, the name Clive Davis echoed through recording studios, concert halls, and award ceremonies around the world. He was not a singer. He was not a songwriter. Yet few people shaped modern music more profoundly than he did. The world thought it knew everything about Clive Davis. His success, his fortune, his legendary career. But after his death, a hidden tunnel discovered beneath his estate revealed a side of the music icon that had never been seen before. What was found inside would leave his family in tears, shock longtime friends, and raise questions no one ever expected to ask. The deeper investigators went, the more unbelievable the discovery became. And by the time the final secret was uncovered, everyone realized that Clive Davis may have left behind one last story waiting to be told. Before we reveal the astonishing discovery allegedly connected to the hidden tunnel, we first need to understand the extraordinary life, career, and final days of the man at the center of the mystery. Long before he became one of the most powerful figures in music history, Clive Davis was simply a young boy growing up in Brooklyn, New York. Born on April 4, 1932, his childhood was marked not by privilege, but by hardship. Tragedy arrived early. His mother passed away when he was still young. Not long afterward, his father died as well. Suddenly, the future music titan found himself orphaned during his teenage years. The losses left emotional scars that would remain with him for the rest of his life. Those who knew him often described him as intensely driven. Looking back, some believe that drive was born from those difficult years. While others his age were focused on ordinary dreams, Davis was already searching for stability, purpose, and a path towards something greater. His academic achievements quickly set him apart. He graduated from New York University with honors before earning a scholarship to Harvard Law School, where he completed his legal education. At the time, nothing suggested he would one day reshape the music industry. His future appeared destined for courtrooms and corporate law offices rather than recording studios and concert arenas. Yet fate had other plans. After beginning his professional career as a lawyer, Davis found himself working within the business side of the music world. What started as a legal position soon evolved into something much larger. He discovered an extraordinary talent. Not for singing, not for songwriting, but for recognizing greatness in others. It was a gift that would change the lives of countless artists and transform popular music forever. By the late 1960s, Davis had risen through the ranks at Columbia Records. He was taking risks that many executives considered reckless. He championed artists others ignored. He trusted instincts over formulas. Again and again, those instincts proved correct. As the years passed, his reputation grew almost mythical. Young performers walked into offices hoping for a chance. Established artists sought his guidance. Record labels competed for his leadership. Davis wasn't simply signing musicians. He was identifying voices capable of defining generations. The list of artists connected to his career reads like a museum of modern music history. There was Whitney Houston, whose breathtaking voice would become one of the most celebrated in entertainment history. Many credit Davis with recognizing her extraordinary potential before the rest of the world fully understood what she would become. There was Alicia Keys, whose talent helped usher in a new era of soulful contemporary music. There was Bruce Springsteen, whose powerful storytelling would make him one of America's most beloved performers. There was Barry Manilow, whose success helped define an entire period of popular music. There was Carlos Santana, whose career experienced remarkable revitalization under Davis's guidance. And later generations would see him help support artists including Jennifer Hudson and many others who followed in the footsteps of music legends. Across rock, pop, R&B, soul, and beyond, Davis seemed to possess an almost supernatural ability to hear potential hidden beneath uncertainty. Yet success came with a price. Behind the awards, sold-out arenas, and glamorous industry events existed a different reality. The music business is unforgiving. Careers rise and collapse overnight. Friendships become business negotiations. Trust can be difficult to find. Davis experienced his share of setbacks. He endured public controversies. He faced professional battles that threatened his position and reputation. There were moments when critics questioned whether his influence had finally reached its end. Yet time after time, he returned stronger than before. But even victory carried sacrifices. The demands of building careers often came at the expense of personal relationships. Long hours became longer years. Public success sometimes masked private loneliness. For many high achievers, the world sees only the applause. It rarely sees the quiet rooms that follow. As Davis entered his later years, the reality of aging became impossible to ignore. The industry he helped shape had transformed countless times. New artists emerged. New technologies revolutionized music consumption. Entire generations grew up listening to songs that existed because of decisions he had made decades earlier. Yet through it all, he remained a respected figure whose influence continued to be felt throughout the entertainment world. His public appearances became less frequent. His reflections became more personal. Many observers sensed a man increasingly aware of the legacy he would leave behind. Then came the final chapter. In June 2026, Clive Davis passed away at the age of 94 in Manhattan after recent health challenges, including respiratory issues. His family announced the news, and tributes immediately poured in from around the world. Artists, executives, fans, and longtime friends remembered a man whose vision had altered the course of music history. His family described him as a loving father and grandfather whose impact extended far beyond the recording industry. Fellow musicians remembered his belief in talent when others doubted. Generations of listeners reflected on the songs that had become the soundtrack of their lives because of his guidance. The passing of Clive Davis felt like the end of an era. A man who had spent more than 6 decades shaping popular culture was suddenly gone. But as the public mourned, something unexpected was about to happen. Because while the world focused on celebrating his achievements, a far stranger story was quietly beginning behind the gates of his estate. As attorneys, archivists, and family members began sorting through everything Clive Davis left behind, they expected to uncover valuable memorabilia and forgotten pieces of music history. Instead, old property records pointed toward something no one could explain. Hidden deep within the estate's original blueprints was a structure that wasn't supposed to exist. The blueprint should not have existed. At least, that's what everyone initially believed. For weeks following Clive Davis's passing, attorneys, archivists, and estate managers worked through an overwhelming collection of documents accumulated over nearly a century of life. There were contracts, photographs, handwritten notes, awards, correspondence with legendary artists, and countless pieces of music history. Nothing seemed unusual, until an archivist reviewing decades-old property records noticed a discrepancy. A faint marking appeared on a set of original estate blueprints. It was barely visible, almost as if someone had intentionally tried to erase it. At first glance, it looked insignificant, a simple line extending beneath a portion of the property. But when compared against more recent architectural records, the line disappeared completely. The structure shown on the older plans no longer existed on any modern map. Or at least, it wasn't supposed to. The discovery immediately raised questions. Had the estate undergone undocumented renovations? Was it simply an error made decades earlier? Or was something hidden beneath the property? No one knew. But curiosity had already taken hold. As word spread among those managing the estate, more experts were called in. Architectural historians arrived to examine the documents. Property surveyors compared records spanning multiple generations. Engineers inspected structural reports. The deeper they looked, the stranger the mystery became. Several old references mentioned a subterranean section beneath the estate, yet none described its purpose. Even more puzzling, the references appeared to stop abruptly. Entire pages seemed to be missing from certain records. Dates had been crossed out. Notes had been removed. Some documents appeared intentionally altered. Why? No one could answer. And perhaps even more troubling, had Clive Davis known about it? Family members found themselves debating possibilities late into the evening. Some believed it was simply an abandoned utility corridor. Others suspected it may have been part of an older structure predating the estate itself. A few wondered whether it had some connection to the property's earliest owners. Theories multiplied. Speculation spread. But facts remained frustratingly scarce. Eventually, estate administrators authorized a complete inspection of the area indicated on the blueprints. What they discovered only deepened the mystery. The first clue emerged during a structural survey. One section of the basement appeared unusually thick. Measurements failed to match surrounding walls. According to modern building plans, the space behind the wall should not have existed. Yet instruments suggested otherwise. There was empty space beyond it, a hidden cavity. The finding transformed curiosity into urgency. Construction specialists were brought in. Careful examinations began. For several days, workers scanned walls, checked foundations, and reviewed architectural layouts. Then came the moment no one expected. Behind a series of storage shelves that had likely remained untouched for years, investigators uncovered evidence of a concealed entrance. The opening wasn't obvious. In fact, it appeared deliberately disguised. Stonework blended seamlessly with surrounding materials. Old wooden framing concealed key structural details. Without the blueprint discrepancy, it might never have been found. As workers carefully removed sections of the wall, a narrow passageway slowly emerged. Silence filled the room. Everyone stared. There it was. A hidden entrance. An entrance leading underground. Family members watching the process reportedly struggled to believe what they were seeing. Lawyers paused their work. Historians leaned forward. Even experienced contractors appeared stunned. The passage looked old. Very old. Dust covered every visible surface. Spiderwebs stretched across corners untouched for years. And beyond the entrance lay darkness. Complete darkness. The discovery triggered a flood of new questions. Who built it? When? And perhaps most importantly, why had it been hidden? No immediate answers emerged. Only mystery. Several days later, a carefully assembled team prepared to enter. Safety inspections were completed. Structural assessments suggested the passage remained stable. Protective equipment was distributed. High-powered lights illuminated the entrance. Then the exploration began. The first steps echoed through the darkness. Dust rose into the air. The tunnel extended farther than anyone anticipated. Its walls consisted of aged stone reinforced at various points with later construction materials. Old electrical fixtures lined portions of the ceiling. Most no longer functioned. Some hung loose from rusted brackets. Others remained fixed in place like silent witnesses from another era. The atmosphere felt strangely frozen in time. Every footstep seemed to disturb decades of silence. Investigators moved slowly, methodically. The passage twisted beneath the estate, occasionally widening, then narrowing again. At certain points, markings appeared along the walls. Nothing immediately identifiable. No names. No obvious explanations. Just symbols and faded notations that seemed to belong to another chapter of the property's history. Then something unexpected appeared. Footprints. Not fresh, but not ancient either. The discovery brought the team to an immediate halt. Someone had been there. At some point. Years earlier perhaps. Maybe decades. But the evidence suggested the tunnel had not remained completely forgotten. A chill spread through the group. The mystery was becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss. If the tunnel had been sealed, how had someone entered? And who? No records offered an explanation. No witnesses stepped forward. Only more questions. As the exploration continued, the passage descended deeper underground. The air grew cooler, heavier. The tunnel seemed to lead toward a specific destination. This wasn't a random collection of underground corridors. It had been designed with purpose, built intentionally, for something, or someone. Hours passed. The team documented every detail, photographed every marking, examined every branch of the pathway. Yet the ultimate destination remained hidden. Then, just as some investigators began wondering whether the tunnel simply ended in collapse or rubble, the passage opened into a larger chamber. And there they found it. A door. Massive. Heavy. Unlike anything else encountered during the exploration. The door appeared reinforced. Protected. Almost ceremonial in appearance. Layers of dust covered its surface. Ancient hinges rested motionless along the frame. A large lock remained attached. No one spoke for several seconds. Because everyone understood the same thing at once. Whatever the tunnel had been built to protect, it was likely beyond that door. Some imagined hidden wealth. Others envisioned priceless music memorabilia. A few feared something far more controversial. The tension became almost unbearable. Decades of secrecy, years of silence, an underground passage hidden from official records. And now this. A final barrier standing between investigators and the truth. The team prepared to open it. Cameras were positioned. Documentation equipment was activated. Witnesses gathered. Slowly, carefully, the lock was examined. Then removed. The hinges groaned. Dust drifted through the air. The heavy door began to move. And as darkness beyond the threshold slowly revealed itself, nobody could have predicted what they were about to find. Because after following the tunnel to its end, investigators arrived at a heavy locked door hidden beneath the estate. Everyone expected to uncover money, priceless artifacts, or a shocking secret. But what waited behind that door was something nobody had imagined. As investigators continued examining the contents of the hidden chamber, a deeper picture of Clive Davis began to emerge. The journals did not focus primarily on wealth, fame, or power. Instead, they told the story of a man looking back on an extraordinary life. Page after page reflected on the unlikely journey that had taken him from a young orphan in Brooklyn to one of the most influential figures in music history. He wrote about the losses he experienced as a child. The pain of losing both parents at a young age never completely left him. Even after decades of success, those early memories remained with him. The journal suggested that much of his ambition came from a desire to create stability and purpose in a world that had once felt uncertain. As the writings moved through the years, they described his rise through the music industry. There were memories of difficult decisions, career risks, and moments when his future seemed far from guaranteed. Yet again and again, he returned to one central theme. His greatest achievement was never the records he sold. It was the people he believed in. He reflected on the excitement of discovering new talent, the feeling of hearing a remarkable voice for the first time, the responsibility of helping artists transform dreams into reality. In several entries, he expressed deep pride in the musicians whose lives he had helped shape, not because they became famous, but because they shared their gifts with the world. He described music as one of humanity's most powerful forces. A song could comfort someone during grief, give hope during difficult times, create memories that lasted a lifetime. And knowing he had played a role in bringing those songs to audiences around the world filled him with gratitude. As investigators continued reading, they found passages written during his later years. These entries carried a different tone, more reflective, more personal. Clive Davis wrote about growing older and watching entire generations of artists come and go. He reflected on how quickly time seemed to pass. Concerts that once felt recent had happened decades earlier. Young artists he once mentored had become legends themselves. The industry had changed countless times, but his love for music never faded. One particularly moving section described how he hoped people would remember him. Not as an executive, not as a businessman, not even as a music industry icon, but as someone who recognized potential in others and helped them believe in themselves. The journals revealed moments of loneliness as well. Despite being surrounded by celebrities, success, and public admiration, there were times when he felt isolated. Fame often creates distance. Power can be lonely. The pages suggested that some of his greatest struggles were invisible to the public. Yet there was remarkably little bitterness in his writing. Instead, there was appreciation. Appreciation for the opportunities he received, for the artists he worked with, for the friendships he built throughout his life, for the chance to contribute something meaningful to the world. Then investigators reached the final collection of pages. The handwriting appeared shakier. The entries were shorter, but the emotions felt stronger than ever. These final reflections focused on legacy, not financial legacy, not professional legacy, human legacy. He wrote that eventually every award loses its shine. Every headline is forgotten. Every record is broken. What remains are the lives we touch and the memories we leave behind. The final unfinished note seemed to capture everything he had learned. It spoke of gratitude. It spoke of family. It spoke of friendship. And above all, it spoke of music. Music as comfort. Music as connection. Music as something capable of bringing strangers together across generations. As family members listened to the words being read aloud, many became emotional. Because the greatest discovery hidden within the fictional chamber was not a secret at all. It was a reminder. A reminder that behind the legendary executive was a man who experienced the same hopes, fears, losses, and dreams as everyone else. A man who spent a lifetime helping others find their voices while building a legacy that would continue long after he was gone.